Yeah. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad Famous told me in my ear that we're about to go live because you guys were about to catch me playing air drums.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was a
yeah,
good one. The
yeah.
air drum too.
Yeah, the air drums, man. You can't go wrong unless you're in the car with the steering wheel. And for some, that's as close as they're gonna get. But we here, definitely want to appreciate all the drummers today, man. We got a special episode. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
What's
Today is
up?
March 26th, 2024. And we are approaching Easter weekend. So Famous and I decided to just do a little something a little bit more special for you guys as far as the wardrobe. We contacted our stylist.
So let's
Yeah,
get something
they was able to
fresh.
work. They was able to work something out. But y'all come on in. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to everyone who's joining us live right now, whether you're watching the replay later, whether you be on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, or any of Twitch or any of our other platforms where you can
Yeah,
catch us. Like we said
we
last
here.
week, we here. All you got to do is just go look out your window. We right there. Look over your shoulder. So as you guys are coming on in, feel free to share this live
Yeah.
broadcast on your individual pages. We would greatly appreciate it. If you are over on YouTube, do
Hmm.
not leave today without hitting that subscribe button. And
Please.
subscribe to us on the rest of the platforms as well. You can listen to us while you're cleaning your house, while you're riding in your car. So again, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all of
Yeah.
the above. No shortcuts with Midas and Fame.
Yeah,
What's
I got
good,
a bunch
Doctor?
of I got a few Facebook users on here. So if you're on Facebook and this is you, hit that link ecam.live/connect. You may have to do it every once in a while to reset your access to so we can see
Yes.
your name instead of Facebook user. So whomever that was that says suited up, and
Yeah.
you guys are looking fly today. I
Yeah.
can't see
What's
who
your
you
name?
are, so just
Put that
hit
link up
that
one more time. Happy Tuesday.
ecam.live/connect, and that way we can see your
To
name
see your
when you
name.
make
Give you
that
guys a
when you
proper shout out.
make that comment. But thank you for joining us anyway. We're
Yeah,
glad you're
see
here.
my mother's here. Shout out to her. My brother is here. Shout
Absolutely.
out to him. Shout out to my family. I
Yeah.
love you guys. Thank you so much for your support week in and week out. The support of our platform. Thank you all for all you do. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining us and you have a business, you're an entrepreneur, feel free to drop your links in the comment. If you want to give a brief description of what it is that you do, feel free to do so because we're all here to learn as well as network.
Yes, we are all dressed up. I got my
Yeah, we
Easter
got our Easter
clothing on.
specials.
I feel like the news anchors though because I'm all business on the top, but
Yeah, oh yeah,
I
we'll
got my
talk about the
sweatpants.
bottoms with the
I
sweatpants.
got my sweatpants and my up tempos on.
I ain't even
But
gonna tell y'all.
up here, look like I'm ready for TV.
Yeah, yeah. What's this? The Arnold Palmer, the half and half.
Yeah. What up,
Yeah,
DJB? Brian Park in the house.
JB,
He's
let's.
watching on the YouTube. Thank you, brother.
Okay,
Watching
okay.
on
Hold
the
it down
YouTube.
for
Push
us
that
over
up,
there on
man.
the YouTube. Yeah,
Yeah,
hold it down
yeah.
for us over there. I will admit that my bottom half is a little more casual as well. Pause. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hey,
But we
Lori. Thank
here,
you. Yes, Lori. We are
Lori.
connected now.
Yeah,
Good
so we have a
deal.
we have a few former guests here. Lori's a former guest.
Yeah,
My brother's a former guest. Shout out to Matt and Smooth Sales.
for
My
sure.
my oh, I was about to say my mother, but we're gonna get her on here. I'm just so used to her being here. I'm gonna
I
just put
know.
her in
She
the
hasn't been a
former guest
guest yet, though.
category.
Stacy
DJB.
Henley
Yeah,
on
stay
YouTube, too.
safe. Hey, what's
What
up?
up,
Thank you so
Stacy?
much. Oh, and I got to shout out my real quick. Let me say hi to Rhonda, the
Good
Miss
morning.
Legendary Miss Rhonda Badikian, ladies and gentlemen, joining us as usual. You guys are very faithful, and we appreciate all that you do to help us build this community. Thank you so much,
Thank
Lori.
you,
And let
Lori.
me give my my parents a shout out because they were highlighted by the Shaw Chamber of Commerce, the
Hmm.
business Praise and Faith Gospel Shop. I'm shouting them out almost every week. But yeah, they were highlighted by the Chamber of Commerce in Shaw, South Carolina. And I
That's
just
right.
realized that since the Chamber of Commerce since 1990.
Yeah.
Then I started doing some calculations and I started looking at myself.
Yeah. Like, oh, that means I'm
Yeah,
22 now, huh?
yeah, man. So as far as being officially a part of the Chamber of Commerce for a long time, man. So
Yeah.
congrats to them, and it's always great to be able to be highlighted by the town that you're in. For the town to show appreciation. Former guest of the platform, member of the
What up,
community, Mr.
James?
James F. Masters is here.
James. Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. We're trying to
Hey,
head
thank you
out to
so much.
Tuesday Bible school after we leave here, so we'll be
Uh
good.
huh.
We're already early
Hmm.
for it. How
Yeah,
was your
yeah.
week,
We
bro?
we did dressy tops, casual bottoms, as we, but you guys only see the top, you know.
Yeah, that's all right. That is
Yeah,
quite all
yeah, for
right.
sure.
Yo,
And
what'd
once
you do
again, as
this
you
week,
guys,
man?
well, I was just going to mention one more time for those that just came in. If
Hmm.
you're an entrepreneur and have a business of any sort that you would like to put the link or your your website or your Facebook
Yeah,
page in the
do it.
comments with a brief description, feel free to do so. Okay, what
For
were you
sure,
saying?
for
I'm
sure.
sorry, bro.
Just recapping the week, man.
Oh,
What
recapping.
it looked like.
Last
How
week
was it
was
for you?
I try to give the abbreviated version. I started out doing some performances last Thursday. Yeah, we caught the he showed the cat.
She said,
Hey, hey,
got
yeah,
the
I'm not doing that much.
got the polo sweats and the up tempos on. I told you.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what they
yeah.
do in the commercial breaks. You get to see what they really doing behind
Yeah,
that
yeah,
counter.
yeah. We'll give y'all some behind the scenes on the Patreon.
Yeah.
But I thought I started out last week, man, as far as my performances and whatnot. Thursday, Brandon Stevens and I were representing my outfit, Mellow Groove, locally at Courts, Cooks and Books. So shout out to Chef
Yeah.
Shanali, former
Hmm.
guest of our show, as well as her business partner Mindy. And Shanali had a birthday last Friday, by the
Yeah.
way. So happy birthday to her. But I was
For
there
sure.
Thursday night. Friday night, the chairman of the board and the executives, we traveled to Vinton, Virginia, to do a show at Rosie's Casino, which
Hmm.
was a lot of fun. And shout out to Mr. T Fox, the ambassador there, who always takes such good care of us when we come to Rosie's. Man, I think that was our second time there. We went last year and back this year, and we stayed over Friday in Virginia. Came back Saturday, and we were at the Swanee Theater in Kannapolis
Hmm.
Saturday night. Sold out crowd there.
Yeah, buddy.
Fantastic show. Yeah, it was a wonderful time. And then I was at Mount Dewell Sunday morning doing my minister of music duties. Then after church, I went and grabbed my son, and we went and had lunch. I went to take him to see some relatives on his mother's side of the family. Hung out with the kids and all of that good stuff, man, and had a little picnic outside grilling, hot dogs, burgers, and all the
Yeah, buddy.
sides. Shout out to his aunt, Miss Tara Lynn, for cooking up all that food, and her husband, Mr. Leon Geist. Appreciate you guys. And yeah, is that Robin? Oh yeah. So if that's Robin. Robin was asking because you said on last week's program you were gonna
Robin
think about
Barbie.
coming.
Yeah.
Robin Barbie and the Barbs. So yeah, she was there Saturday night and she asked where you were. So I'll let him explain.
Yeah. Well, see, well, Robin. Here's the thing. No, no. It was. I think I
What
mentioned
had
it was
happened was
my wife's grandmother's 100th birthday party on Saturday. And initially, she wasn't going to be able to go because we thought I had to work Saturday, but I had an engagement that got canceled. So she was actually able to go to her grandmother's 100th birthday celebration. It was all the way in Gaffney. So by the time she
mm,
got back home from that, because it was a lot of relatives that she hadn't seen in a while, so I was home with the kids, and by the time she got home from that, it was already after 8 o'clock. So
mm,
it was
yeah,
a no go situation for the
yeah,
Swanee Theater, but I'm glad y'all had a good time, man.
yeah. It's
So I
very
was
nice,
off.
man.
I was
And
off
my two
Saturday.
my two favorite words in show business besides payday is sold out.
Yeah, buddy. Sold out is
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Sold
It was
out is
great,
good for
man. We had a
sure.
good time. We had a good time. What about yourself?
Yeah, that was cool. It was so that was Saturday. I didn't do much after
Yeah.
we got off on Tuesday. Just kind of getting ready for the upcoming events. I have a lot in the next few weeks. So
Hmm.
kind of getting stuff prepared for that, getting home ready, and then
Yeah.
on Monday, yesterday,
Hmm.
a few weeks ago, someone contacted me about an engagement that was going down yesterday for
Okay.
the Entrepreneurs Organization of Charlotte, and they needed a
Mm.
DJ. And actually, shout out to Blake
Okay.
Anderson,
Yeah,
DJ
yeah.
Shakin' Blake. had
Yeah, DJ Shake It, baby.
recommended me because he couldn't do it, so he sent them my way. So she hit me up, a few weeks back about doing this event on Monday,
Hmm.
and it was Monday evening, so it was, I was available. Of course, I had my prison ministry yesterday
Yes.
early afternoon. I had to cut out a little bit
Hmm.
early. We actually were baptizing some dudes yesterday in the prison. We had, I think,
Okay.
about
That's
10 to
awesome.
15 guys getting baptized. We
Yeah.
had Pastor Taylor Scheidel from Elevation Columbia campus came up and he preached yesterday. And man,
Oh yeah. A
Taylor,
time was had.
a time was had. Pastor Taylor really brought it home. I got to stay
Hmm.
for the for the duration of his message, but I had to leave right before he was going to start baptizing. But that was cool. And then I had to get straight
Yeah.
up to Monroe for that event.
Hmm.
So, Buster, I get to the event in Monroe. It was at Iron Horse Motorcycles, and
Okay.
I'm all setting up and all that kind of stuff. Guess who comes in the room?
Who's that?
Chef Shonali.
Really?
Yeah, she was doing the
Yeah.
catering. Yeah, she was
Wow.
doing the
See,
catering for the same
this
event. And it
community is
turned out
awesome.
it was all community stuff because I think they reached out to Blake. Blake couldn't do
Uh,
it. Well, she actually, from what she said last night, she recommended
hmm.
Blake first, so it might have gone way back from before I met
Yeah.
Shanali, but
Yeah.
she recommended Blake first, and then Blake
Right.
couldn't do it, so he sent them my way. But then also, the person who was coordinator had also reached back
Hmm.
out to Shanali, and she said, "Oh yeah, Travis." So between
Yeah.
her
Nice,
and Blake,
man.
it came
Yeah.
to me, so that was pretty cool. I didn't even know she was involved until
Yeah.
she got there yesterday. I was like, "Yo." Made
And
me a
yeah.
nice
That.
care package to take home with me because I didn't get a chance to eat during the event. So it will
You're
be
right.
dinner tonight.
Absolutely, and that's again, that's the beauty of our community, man. Like just our
Yeah,
the folks that we know have a relationship with that do different things, and you never know when you may run into them, and
yeah,
you guys
yeah,
are working together, whether
yeah,
directly or indirectly. So that's awesome. I love that.
yeah.
I love that. Yes,
Absolutely,
sir.
Laurie. It was amazing. It was amazing. I wanted to ask Taylor to. I know this was a mess. I don't know if it was part of the message was definitely curated specifically for the guys in the prison, but it might be some things that he'd already
You can take
worked
from
on
it.
and workshop and took
Hmm.
from me. But I was gonna ask him afterwards, man. If you got this thing recorded somewhere, I need to take this message home with me because
Yeah,
he did a great job. Brian was
yeah.
down at Kiwa Island Saturday. Yeah, that's
Hey,
right.
yeah,
That's right.
man. We're gonna have more coming up. Matter of fact, I think April 13th, there's an event for called Paws in the Park.
Mm-hmm.
But it's for dogs, not the paws
Mm-hmm.
you thinking about, but it's for dogs.
Yeah.
People bring their dogs. It's like a big dog show and everything. It's kind of early in the day, though. I know it's wedding season. You guys might be
Mm-hmm.
booked already, but if you want, go to www.thechairmanoftheboard.com. All the details will be there. And as we get a little closer to that event, I'll be posting the flyer and whatnot. But I'll
Yeah.
keep you guys posted when we local.
Do that.
We're gonna
Do
make a
that.
big no shortcuts day on a chairman of the board concert.
Yeah. That'd be great. That'd be
Yeah,
great,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Moving
yeah,
on with them.
indeed.
Tell them about our guests.
All right, guest for today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you remember, in December we had a guest on, Miss Alice Harden Meeks. So she's also a
Mm-hmm.
member of our community. But during that time, she was promoting her event at that time called Christmasville. It was a Sunday jazz event, which I was a part of, along with the Gregory Amos group. And this gentleman I met at this gig because he was playing with the Gregory Amos group. That's a tongue twister. Gregory Amos group, them GRs,
GAG.
right? Yeah, but nonetheless, so we alternated sets. They played a set, then we would play. They played another set, then we ended up playing. But it was a cool little thing. And this gentleman was playing keyboards for the Gregory Amos group, and we be just small talk, chatting, different things like that, following each other on social media. Then I discovered he plays drums also,
Mm-hmm.
as you can see at the beginning. He was playing keyboards at when I met him. So as you can
Mm-hmm.
see at the top of the show, he actually plays drums as well. Not only that, but he plays bass. He also is a music producer. And so that's our guest for today, ladies and gentlemen. So without any further ado, please hit
Yeah.
the hearts, hit the likes, light up the
Yeah.
chat, make some
Put some
applause and
ones on it.
emojis. You can make some noise in your cubicles if you can, or while you're at home, lightly if necessary. But please help us welcome Mr. DeCarlos Hulk Davis.
What up, Hulk?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, brother?
Man, thank you so much. First and foremost, thank you so much for joining us today. And we're glad to have you. I'm excited to learn a little bit more about you. Again, I've first saw that you played keys, and now I've discovered you play drums and bass, and you've done some production and things. So I'm excited to get to know a little bit more about you, man. So thank you for joining us today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. Now, I asked you yesterday, I don't know if you want to go right into this right away, but I asked you yesterday, how did you get the nickname Hulk?
Oh,
should we
yeah.
go? Should we?
We can go. Yes, going straight into it.
Yeah, okay.
That nickname came about back in 20, maybe 12. There was a drum establishment that did a clinic out there, I believe in Charlotte.
Okay.
And I was a part of that experience. And me and one of the drummers, the guy who was actually over the event, the clinic, we were demonstrating how two drummers can play together, without, having to feel like we had to compete.
Right.
So a guy I met up there, which we end up becoming real good friends, and I end up kind of mentoring him a little bit. At the end of that, because me and the guy was going back and forth, he would play like 8 bars and I would play.
Okay, then you play.
Right. So
kind of like shedding, right?
Right, basically.
Like shedding, gotcha.
But in front of an audience. So Alex was about, I think, 13 or 14. And he was like, "Yo, man, I gotta tell you, man, you Hulk smashed that guy, man." I was like,
"Oh, Hulk smashed him."
Yeah, Hulk smashed.
And he said, "Man, that's what I'm gonna call you. He said, I'm calling you the Hulk from now on, man." So and it wasn't intended to be that type of party, but I just got kind of tickled because being young, I can see where his mind was. But it was clearly no intention to do any kind of battle. But I've had that name posted, and like everywhere I go, if people recognize me, that's the first thing. It's like they skip over my first name, and I'm like, well, this is not on my birth. I actually had a friend of mine when he wrote me a check because I did a gig, several gigs.
Hulk.
He
we
actually
can't
put
that.
even like on the marquee of like the some of the business. I'm like, dude, don't do that. Just put my name. You go somewhere and you see DeCarlos Davis, you like, oh God.
Yeah,
but
I got a check that said DJ Famous one time on it. I can't do nothing with that.
People forget.
Yeah, they do. Let me ask you
this.
That's
how that name came about.
Is that a Hulk t-shirt you're wearing? And question 2, how many Hulk t-shirts do you have?
Oh,
that was good marketing.
This one was actually given to me. I think overall, I may have had about 3 or 4.
Okay.
And the headbands was kind of in coordination with some of the things I was doing when I was I've slowed down a lot, of course, since COVID, and I got kind of used to just relaxing a little bit and doing more in the studio versus playing. So I'm like,
absolutely. But
you got to keep with the theme.
The theme,
That's
absolutely. Right. And then my son had to teach me what the Hulk smash was many years ago. I didn't know, because I think when the Incredible Hulk was a character, whether the cartoon or what was it? Was it Bruce Banner?
Yeah, Lou Ferrigno was the original. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did they say Hulk smash back then? I think that's like a second generation.
Yeah, it came with the animation a few years ago. So they don't know nothing about the original. Well, Lou Ferrigno actually, they don't.
Right. Yeah, that was good stuff when he used to get. We're gonna proceed in a minute, but I gotta go down. I gotta go down memory lane. So typical stuff. That Bruce Banner character, he gonna get knocked out or something, right? He's gonna be knocked out. Some fighting gonna go on around him. Then he gonna turn. When he turns around, his eyes are gonna be green.
His eyes green. That's right.
Then he's gonna proceed to burst out of all his clothing. You know what I mean? Turn green and muscular. He's gonna beat everybody up. Then he's gonna run away.
It was very dusty too. It was always very dusty.
Yeah, a lot of dust in 4x4. Yes. Sawdust at the tent revivals.
Yeah.
And then after he finished beating everybody up, then he runs away, totally
Right.
unseen. And then he comes to later on as himself with the clothes all tattered and torn, draped over him. So
That's right.
for you
That's
guys
right.
that didn't have the privilege of seeing the Incredible
Mhm.
Hulk back in the day. All right, I
That's right.
digress. So let's go back to the beginning. Where were you born and raised, and what was your upbringing and childhood like?
I was born and raised in Winston-Salem, North
Okay.
Carolina, which is in between like Greensboro, next to Greensboro, going out towards Charlotte. You
Yes.
pass Salisbury and those little towns. So
Hmm.
I was born and raised, um, and my upbringing was like most musicians, most singers. I grew up in the
Yeah.
church. My
Uh-huh.
grandfather is a pastor. My mom, she brought us up to be, churchgoers, and that's what
Hmm.
we did, um, and that's what we still do.
Yeah. 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 It's part of
We
you.
gotta keep. That's right. We gotta keep God first,
Hmm.
and it's just I started. The story has it. I started about four-ish around that time, just kind of
Hmm.
making a little noise, and I can remember growing up in church, starting out on the drums.
Hmm.
That is what
Say,
attracts me. That's what attracts most
kids,
people
right?
that play. Yeah,
Hmm.
a lot of my friends that play keys and like, man, I used to play drums. And I'm not
Me too. Me
surprised.
too. Me too.
I think it's the rhythm thing, that we have to
Yeah.
get down. And I
Hmm.
can remember growing up in church being not the only musician, but being like the youngest and wanting to
Mm.
play, and them telling me, it's not my time. You got to have a seat. After I
Hmm.
made rehearsal, played a little bit, and they done got
Right.
my hopes up only Sunday to say, well, you just have a seat right over there, and we'll get with you. It's like, what?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I remember those, but I'm just grateful to have had an upbringing in church. Not always been perfect, but that upbringing and being in the music has taught me, a lot over the years. Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got any
Hmm.
sisters and brothers?
Yeah, I have three, well, two brothers, so it's three of us and two sisters, so it's five
Wow.
total. Me being the oldest.
Okay, y'all had a little choir there, possibly
Yeah. Do they
Oh
play
growing up.
music
man,
too?
Oh yeah, do they play
uh,
music as well?
no, I'm the only one in my mom's family that plays. My
Mm.
brother, I have more kind of singers.
Hmm.
In that in my mom's family. But across the board, my mom has it was six of them that came from my grandparents, and I do have some uncles, some aunts, some cousins that can play. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we can play.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Yes.
of course, you growing up in church and everything like that, you know about the Bible study, the church on Friday night. You might have Sunday morning, might have Sunday afternoon if there's an anniversary. Might be a few services on Sunday. So back in the day. Oh, let's recognize this comment real quick. I'll hold
Yeah.
my.
Yeah. I'm not sure
Yeah,
who
I
it
don't
was
even know who
though.
that. I saw it. I don't even know who that was. My son.
Yeah, my son loves drums,
Percussion.
percussion. He's 13. I have to show him about you, DeCarlos. Okay,
Yeah, for
yeah. And
sure.
you guys,
Okay. All
please
right.
please
All
make sure you
right.
hit that
That's
link, that eCam link, so we can see your name. Can you put it up there one more time, famous?
Yeah, there it is.
eCam
Ecam.
dot live/connect so we can see your name with your Facebook comments. But yeah, so I'm sure you're used to Carlos, you're used to just being in church a lot. But that gives you, and again, church gives you an opportunity. I guess once they saw that you were ready, I'm sure you had a plenty of opportunity to exercise your musical gifts.
look. Now I'm grateful because sometimes the opportunities just come, and I can't do nothing with them sometimes.
Yeah,
It's like that
yeah.
window of heaven being poured down on you, and it's like, Lord, I remember when I was just a little kid and they wouldn't let me play, and now it's like everywhere I turn, can you help me out? Can you do this? Can you play? I'm like, I don't know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm very grateful for that upbringing. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
and that's a blessing within itself, just to see where you are right now. And I'm just thinking about myself, and even when I first started doing music in a quote unquote professional setting, even before I got with the chairman of the board, I had my own outfit, Mellow Groove, and we had to do a lot of leg work. Go to this place. Hey, do you guys have live bands here? and go to this place, and you trying to figure out how to conduct a business, what's the fair amount to charge, and now looking back, and you just simply fill your calendar in, maybe take a few phone calls, return a few emails, return a few things on Messenger, what have you, Instagram, and now we're not out necessarily having to look for opportunities. The opportunities, they come, but that comes with putting in those 10,000 hours.
Yeah, it comes with the work. So many times I've had to practice. I played with several bands, and how those things can go sometimes. The bands don't always last.
That's right.
I never per se been a leader of a band. I really never wanted that responsibility, but I've seen a lot. And even with that, I'm just grateful to have work consistently. And a lot of things about choice. Some people have to, but I'm in a position to where I can say, well, I'll help this guy, let him take that on, and have fun. And then sometimes I say, yeah, I do it. So that's a good feeling to not have to burn yourself out by just taking gigs just because, music is a great thing. But sometimes, honestly, I don't want to listen to music. I don't want to talk music. I want to play my Xbox. When I'm driving in my car, I turn the radio off sometimes just to get just silence.
And you need that sometimes as a musician. You're so immersed in it all the time, and what people fail to realize too, I guess, when you're a creator of music, or you do music in general, people expect you to know everything that come out. You haven't heard this, but there's no way. Just because somebody does music, there's no way you can keep up with everything that comes out. And music is about discovery sometimes as well. You may have something that you came across that I haven't heard yet, and vice versa. You can share it with each other.
Right. With so many platforms out there and so many people constantly creating, I mean, the ability to be able to create something right now and then tomorrow throw it on a platform is impossible to keep up, and I love my church people, but they are definitely good for that, choir members. Oh, have you heard this song? Blah, blah, blah. Like, the radio is not my friend. I don't listen to per se radio. I couldn't tell you what's out there. I just go by what I hear when I plug in my phone and go to my playlist, I'm always looking for new stuff, but I just don't listen to the common radio these days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then sometimes, like you said, you just want a little silence. You might just want to put on, like, I'm into watching, now that I'm into doing podcasts and that's the type of thing. I watch other podcasts, and I get a thrill out of that by more so sometimes than having music playing all the time. So I get it. Sometimes you just need to clear. It's like when you go, they give you the coffee beans at the fragrance counter. When you try this fragrance, that fragrance, then it's like, hold on a second, let me get these coffee beans so I can clear my nostrils.
I never. And it's the type of music, because I'm very versatile. I never just listened to. I had to learn that the older I got and deeper into music, because when you come in church, as a kid, that's all you know. You listen to some things at home, but we didn't have equipment at home, so all we knew was church. But man, even now, like sometimes Alexa is my friend. Alexa, play piano music, and she'll just play something soft and mellow, and it's like I can clear my head now. Hearing all the different instruments and all the records, sometimes that just kind of
and I think that's cool, man. It's okay. It's good to tell people, not just in music, but whatever you're doing, it's okay to step back from it for a day. It's okay to not, if you're in the art, it's okay to not, to give yourself a break from it, clear your mind. I do the same thing, like you said. I don't listen to music when I'm driving hardly ever anymore. I'm always listening to a podcast, or I'm listening to an audio book, or listening to nothing at all. I hardly ever be checking for music when I'm rolling around, and that goes for all the other industries. It's okay to step back from it and just, I'm not doing nothing today but Xbox, or I'm not doing nothing today but
I love
church. And that's okay. You don't have, as entrepreneurs, you don't have to be, you're supposed to be working 24/7, but you don't have to be on it. You got to give yourself time to release other parts of you, to make sure you have what you need to do this job.
Right.
And some of us create better when there's silence. It's hard to really hear, because I'm not one to. I've heard musicians say, "Well, let me listen to this album. Maybe I can find inspiration," and that's fine, I guess. But I, as a musician, I don't want my stuff to sound like everybody else.
To
And
be
sometimes
influenced.
I
You
have
don't
to
want,
ride,
yeah.
right. I have to ride in silence. I have to sit in silence to really figure out and hear what I want to hear if I'm creating. So yeah.
Yeah, and famous. We not gonna let that slide. You said you didn't know the coffee beans
No,
was a
I
thing.
didn't. I didn't. Real quick. So I just recently, I forget which holiday it was because we have them back to back to back in my house. But I was buying my wife some perfume. It may have been for. It wasn't Christmas. Maybe it was her birthday. But it was just very recently. And I went to a perfume store, and I normally would go to the perfume counter at Belk or Mace, whatever. But I went to an actual place that's pretty much all they do, and I was checking out the different perfumes, and then like she gave me this little cup. She's like, "Oh, dude," I was like, "Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know that the coffee beans to clear, to clear your nose
Man, that
palate."
just taught me something. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you
had
guys
no
didn't know
idea.
that?
No, I had no idea. I didn't know.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know
I didn't know.
you smelly
They don't-
long over here.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
is. I got a
And-
couple
and-
comments.
Yeah, and it might be because I'm a fragrance aficionado.
You're
I'm
an
not sure.
aficionado, yeah. You're an
And
aficionado.
I gotta say my mother is as well, and my dad. They, that's probably where I get it from.
They don't give you the coffee
I
beans
probably,
at Perfumania in the mall. That's where I used to get mine from.
yeah.
Well,
you,
man,
you
look,
said they
I'm
don't.
like, who carries coffee beans?
Yeah.
They have them at the counter.
Yeah.
So
Well, I make sure
the-
next time I'm smelling, hey, you got any coffee beans?
That's right. So you can do it over.
yeah, after you smell a few fragrances, yeah, then you'll look
Yeah.
like a distinguished gentleman
'Cause
if
they
you
all
initiate
smell
the
alike.
coffee beans.
They do. After a while, they start smelling like when you don't smell
Yeah.
2 and 3. Yeah, it's like, I can't,
That's true.
And sometimes even that little sample, it's different. It smells different once you get it home and start to spray, and you're like, this ain't what I thought it was. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I definitely remember that coffee beans.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember
I got
that,
a-
guys. Remember that.
I got a
But
comment
yeah,
from this is Ashley Kennedy. It's great
Hey,
that
Ashley.
your calendars are so full after all your hard work and continued work.
Yeah.
Having a full calendar is
Thank
good.
you.
That is good for
It
sure.
is. It's a blessing. It
You know,
is.
It is a
Juan
blessing.
says, had he known it was dressed to impress, he would have worn his bow tie. Juan, go get the bow tie on.
yeah, you could go put it on over your t-shirt if you want to, right fast. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's okay. It's
Man, had I
okay.
known y'all
So-
was going to be semi-dressed, I would have did a little something.
Well, we just last minute. Last
it was
minute,
last minute,
I threw
McGee.
the idea. Famous. A friend of mine kind of tossed it toward me. I was telling them about the podcast and the show and everything. I said it's professional, but it's fun, and they were like, "So that means you guys dress up?" I was like, "No, we don't." But a light bulb went off, and I was like, "Well, Easter is coming, so now we have a reason to just do something a little different." That's all.
Hey,
So
ain't
it was
nothing wrong
a
with that.
spontaneous. I think I sent that. We come on live at 12. I think I sent that text about 10:45.
Yeah. I was like, all
Ain't
right.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, speaking of
yeah.
Juan, there's his phone number. If anybody needs a travel advisor, he is a celebrity travel advisor to the stars. And Juan, I just saw Juan this morning because he shot an episode of the Women Worth in Weddings podcast with us. And that'll be out in a couple of weeks. But he came in live
nice.
to record it, and he was ready. He had the phone number on a billboard. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
nice. Oh, he did okay.
He did good. He did
Yeah.
great. He even threw in a couple no shortcuts looks on the show. So
I
he
would
did a
appreciate the
good
love,
job.
Juan.
Did a good job.
Appreciate
for
it.
sure.
Yeah, Stacy, what's happening? Yeah. So nonetheless, Carlos. So I know we went all off. we do
All
that
off.
sometimes.
It's okay. It's okay.
That's the fun and the professionalism. We try to combine.
That's right.
We call it edutainment.
Yeah.
So you're starting out in church, and as you're growing, coming up, getting older, playing, obviously playing music in church and whatnot. After like high school, like what was the next step as far as you, pursuing your passion of music? As far as that, like after getting all of that experience in church, what did you do next? That was kind of your next step in going a little farther.
After that, I did kind of stay around with the gospel industry. I played for a few groups that did some mild traveling. I honestly didn't get into what we may know as secular or R&B or hip hop or jazz until about 2011.
Okay.
Um, I, I didn't study per se study music as far from a school standpoint, but in
Hmm.
2011 I started to venture out into jazz and started to kind of start learning other genres.
Okay.
And learning the music was one of the main keys because of course
Hmm.
when you coming out of church you're gonna believe it or not you're gonna sound like a church musician if you never really there's
Oh
some
yeah.
musicians on
You.
stage playing on stage now and I could tell they came out of church.
Yeah. Yeah. It's some stuff. It's some stuff you can't. You can't. You can't get out of your system. It's just a part of how you
Yeah,
play. Because
it's just there.
matter of fact, just with the musicians that play for the chairman of the board, who I do a lot of work with, I back our backline musicians. With like drums, keys, bass, and lead guitar, church musicians.
Yeah,
So
you can't get it out. And there's nothing
yeah.
wrong with that. But I did nothing until that time in terms of different music, and I really worked, and things just began to happen.
Hmm.
Um, Social media was there, but it definitely was not. There was no TikTok, there was no Instagram. I mean, Facebook
Right.
was there, MySpace. Everybody remember
MySpace.
MySpace?
Yeah.
Um,
Shout out to
well, we didn't do much
Yeah.
for Black Planet.
Yeah, oh, yeah, Black Planet too. I forgot
Yeah.
about that
What
one.
about Mi Gente?
That's
We all on
Oh
Mi
man.
Gente?
who?
Mi Gente.
I don't. Who is that?
It's
That
a
was a.
Latin version of Black Planet, pretty much.
Oh,
See, I
gotcha.
see. I don't know nothing about
Mi
that. Let me write that
Gente.
down. What you say?
Mi Gente.
I don't. I don't think you can
Wanda, what's
find it
up?
now.
Wanda. No, I ain't there
It's obsolete.
I'm just
Obsolete.
teasing.
now. Yeah.
I got you,
Yeah,
but that even saying that is like reminding me how far social media has come. Because again, at one point there was nothing but MySpace, and even how you uploaded music to MySpace was a little weird, if I'm not mistaken.
it
But
was.
yeah, Facebook should
It
let us
was.
upload music, shouldn't they?
They should. I
Yeah,
mean, man,
yeah,
when you go on somebody's MySpace page and they have music playing, it just
yeah,
it was that
yeah.
was
Hmm.
Especially if it was your own music, you could kind of
yeah,
showcase right there. But
Yeah.
it's
yeah,
all
yeah,
good. It's all.
yeah.
But things have come a long way, and now it's
They have.
TikTok and Snapchat. I can't keep up with all these things, Instagram. But
Yeah.
we have. But with that being said, really, because back in the day, in order to promote and to get the word out for stuff, I remember my last corporate job I had. I was collecting emails. I was still doing my music, but I was collecting emails, and I had my own email distribution list. You know what I mean? Like, and
Right.
and, and so we've gone from there, or you had to call people individually before you could do group
Hmm.
text and all of that. So social media has helped out a lot in the aspect of promotion for sure, and letting people know
Yeah, and
about.
even like I use this is what I use most time when people. I don't know if y'all can see that. So
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
so
Okay,
like
okay.
so anytime people like, hey, you got a card? I'm like, what's that? Like
What?
very little
What's
people
that?
doing business cards now.
Hmm.
Because I
Yeah,
mean, we all know what happened to business cards. Either you're gonna use it for a toothpick, or you're gonna stick it somewhere it's gonna fall out your pocket.
yeah, 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 yeah,
You're gonna
yeah,
use it
yeah.
to
It's
scrape up something. So I mean, it's
Hmm.
like it's just better to have something where it just goes instantly to
digital
your phone.
format.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've come a long way. And to go back to the question, and honestly, when I started learning different genres of music, a lot of doors start to open.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of bands, a lot of people that I wanted to work with by listening to them over the years that I actually got an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to work with. A lot of endorsements, doors was open, and
Yeah.
now it doesn't matter if you on the road 365. If you have
Mm-hmm.
a large following on social media, that speaks volumes, and
Hmm.
companies look at
Absolutely.
that. So the game has changed a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now
You
I
know,
saw you did something with Roland, the brand.
yeah.
If you, what are some of your endorsements, if you don't mind sharing?
Pearl drums,
Earl. Okay.
Remo,
Mm-hmm.
Roland, Los Cabos drumsticks,
Okay.
um, oh gosh,
That's
R
enough.
Tom. I'm
Okay.
trying to remember.
Yeah. 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 And
Um,
and
Listen, I bet you Roland ain't putting Hulk on the check. they putting
and
the, they putting the
you know
full
what?
name on it.
It's look, it's all good just long as they, the relationship is when I call and I need something, that's all that
Yeah,
matters.
Yeah.
It's it's not a whole lot of people getting, per se checks as what a lot of people think. There's some, but
they
I'm not in the
supplies
market
mainly.
for that. I do music because I love it,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
There's nobody that
Yeah.
can really truly pay us, what real musicians. I'm not
Sure.
talking about somebody who just digitalize everything. I'm talking about real musicians who know how to play. We definitely not getting what we worth at all. But that's another
Absolutely.
conversation for another day, you know.
yeah,
But I'm just
yeah,
still
yeah.
grateful just to be working,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, and you had a video clip from you played at Nam, if I'm not mistaken, right? I was scrolling
Yeah,
through some of
yeah,
your stuff. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So Nam
yeah.
is a big deal for musicians, especially if you have a opportunity to showcase. I mean, you have Nam is set up for like different companies, whether it be
Right.
like drum companies, keyboard companies, what have you. They all come together to showcase their line of products. And
Yep.
if you get a
Right.
chance to play at one of the exhibits for one of these vendors, man, that's a pretty good look.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Pretty
is. It
good look.
is. And it is I've met a lot of people over there. And like you said, it's just not and it's really not for musicians. There's people over there that knows music, but they're not musicians because they have a lot of seminars and a
Mm,
lot of just different things that you can people who want to learn, like what you guys are doing, the whole live podcast. They have people
uh-huh.
over there doing that and showing people, podcast companies
Mm.
with equipment and stuff. So it's just a big. I heard last year, well, this year's what nowhere near. I guess because after COVID, a lot of companies just kind of
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
some people are still
Yeah.
rebuilding and trying to get their footing back still. And I had some stuff pop
Mm-hmm.
up in my memories. COVID started about 4 years ago this time. I had some
Mm-hmm.
on my
Yeah.
social media memories, and I'm looking at pictures of me homeschooling my son and all of that, man. And I'm like,
Man,
man,
what
it
you talking
seems.
about, man? What you talking about? The teacher's like, man, just do the work. I don't care. At this
Yeah.
point,
Yeah,
it was so bad. He said, man,
yeah.
when
Oh,
you get
Rhonda.
stopped,
Yeah,
let me tell
Rhonda says, don't go to Nam with the celebrity. You get stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rhonda, we know
yeah.
you were there with quite a few. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know Miss Rhonda Badikian, she has her own publishing company. And you can correct me if I'm saying any of this wrong, Rhonda, just off the top of my head. She has clients. A lot of your favorite artists have been clients or are currently her clients. She helps with them with the accounting and publishing, clearing samples,
That's
things of
nice.
that nature.
Get
So
them
she started
samples
at
cleared.
Motown, and she's still doing that
Wow, that's
to
nice.
this
Yeah.
day. So she's
That's
definitely the
nice.
We
one
know.
who can say that. Don't go to Nam with any celebrities because you'll get
Yeah.
stopped every 2
For
minutes.
sure. Couldn't get anywhere with her.
Alice,
Right.
What's up,
Alice, we were
Alice?
just talking about you. This is DeCarlos. He was playing keys at Christmasville with the Gregory Amos band. I was just talking to you and talking about you in the intro. But he's
Hey,
he's also a drummer and a bass player and a music producer. Which one is
Yeah.
your favorite instrument, man?
That was the
If you,
question. For sure. That was my
yeah.
question.
oh man,
Oh, my
it
fault.
depends. It
Yeah,
depends.
but before
If
you
I'm looking,
before you answer, okay, famous, you
No,
ask.
no, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I was just thinking the same. We were thinking the same thing at the same time.
Okay, okay.
it all depends. Over the years, the drum has always been my favorite because it excites me. It's the
Mm,
creativity. Um, but honestly, I've been doing a lot of bass and a lot of keys lately,
um.
and for the sake of the equipment that I don't have to haul,
Oh man,
drums are
that drums has
drums.
the most pieces. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
the
true.
most pieces.
For a while I did use a guy who's doing phenomenal things, Josh Boyd. He started with me, being my drum tech, and I told him, I said, man, this is something you should continue. And now he's all over the place. He's in Europe sometime, he's West Coast, he's all over the place. He's right outside of Greensboro. And
Oh, okay,
when I was really going, he would set my stuff up. And every blue moon, depending on the gig, I
right.
would call him and say, "Hey man, I got to play such and such. I need you."
Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
he'll go set my stuff up. I don't have to worry about it. I just sit down and play. That's the only
Yeah,
time I love to play drums. Other than that, if I got to set it up, I
yeah,
don't want to
yeah.
do
Yeah,
it.
there's a drummer here locally who if I'm playing a local gig and we're on the same gig together, he's got all of his hardware in one bag, and when hardware meaning like all of the cymbal stands, the stands that's
Mhm.
holding the cymbals and different things like that, the hi hat stand and all of that all in one
Mhm.
bag, and it almost take two people to haul it. You know, it's got wheels on it, but still, it almost take two people to deal with it. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of pieces when it comes to the drums. Yeah.
It's a lot. But I don't really have a favorite. I'm just wherever I can get in, I fit in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me ask you this, Hope. Did you find, since you started with drums and then learned other instruments, did you find the other instruments easier to learn once you learned to drum, or vice versa? Like in the order of like that. I always wonder about guys that can, or people that can play multiple instruments. Is there a good place to start with that, where the others are easier once you have this understanding? And I figured drums might be like that.
Drums to me just gave me the rhythm aspect. You know, I didn't. You know, there are keys, meaning tuning of drums.
Tones.
You can tune your drum. You know, the tones. But I can't say, oh well, drums help me learn keys. But what I can say is that once I learned keys,
help you
it
on
was
bass?
Easier for me to play bass. Because as a keyboard player, you know, I can play
bass sometimes.
If I know how to play it on the keys, I already know how to play it. You know, I know what changes to go to, and that kind of vice versa. That kind of really helps out. Drums is just a rhythm thing to me. You know, yeah. And coordination, it's good that if you got good coordination, of course, because you're using 2 feet and 2 hands. You know, both your feet. But I can't say that it helped me with keys, but definitely keys help me with bass, and even sometimes playing bass, it helped me with keys if I know the changes. Yeah,
because there's notes and chords that are involved, and
that's right.
You know, the interchangeable. I might have to pick up the bass. I'm just kidding.
I'm telling you, nah, man. Look, man, pick it up. I'm telling you, my barber has been playing. I got him inspired, and man, he is growing so fast. He's a little older than me by a year. But he started about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and man, he is. I mean, I didn't show him anything. He's left hand, so he is growing. He is growing so fast, man. So you already know how to play keys. So I would definitely look into that if I were you. You'd be surprised, man.
It's not too late for me then.
say what, Favors?
I said it's not too late for me then. If
it ain't too late. No,
I like
man,
the bass.
Too late.
I like the bass. I remember seeing, you know, when I would see a Mellow Groove a couple times, and maybe it wasn't Mellow Groove, but it was someone else that you might have been playing with, and there was no bass player that day, and
I was playing keys on the bass. You were
playing keys. I mean,
playing
keys on the bass, and I had to do double duty, and it didn't miss a beat. Didn't miss it. Just listening to it, I couldn't tell there was no actual bass player there. So that's a talent, man.
That's what I do at church too.
But I'm gonna tell you this. When you got a bass player that know how to play and you a keyboard player, it
helps out.
You feel free.
Yeah. And then you can chord. You can chord with your left instead of playing those bass parts with your left. You can use your left hand.
You just fill it up.
Do more chording and make it full. The chords full. So.
Right.
It all has a place. It all has a place.
Yeah,
you know
it does. It does.
Yeah.
It
So
does.
you're doing some production as well. I know we going on our hour. We try not to keep
I'm in the process. I'm kind of just a little, you know, I'm not. I think I'm just lazy. Like, you know how you get excited and then it's just like so much stuff get piled on you and you just like, man, I'm tired. You know, so I'm in the middle of trying to put out a song, hopefully within the next month. I had some trouble in my studio where some things got jacked up, technical, or that pushed me back. So I'm hopefully in about 3 weeks. I'm hoping to have something, you know, out because it's time. It's past time. I've helped so many people.
It's the top of the year. It's the top of the year.
Yeah, it's time. It's time.
We need it by April.
Let's
April,
I give him an extra month.
The end of April.
next week.
The end of April.
Because it's still, because after that it won't be the top of the year. It's really like the last bit of if we divide the year into 4 quarters. This is the last bit of that. But I'm gonna still give you the April.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna give you the no shortcuts deadline.
We'll be pushing something. School is about out, man. I mean, here, man. I mean, a couple of more months, man. I mean, they got a long spring break, and after spring break, man, you know, graduation starts. You know, you know. So so you're right.
You gotta get it out before prom season. I have a question from Ashley Kennedy. Have you tried playing a Pearl Cajun with adjustments? You know what that is?
I have. Yes, I do. I have not on stage. I've tried them out. It's just not the same. Um, they're good tools to have, but when you're playing certain types of music, they just don't work.
What is that? I'm trying to think what that is. That's a
It's
drum
like it's
type.
it's a percussion instrument. It's like a box. You've seen them,
Yeah, you sit
and
on it and you
people
play
kind
and
of sit on it, and then
you
and
smack it
some
with
people
your hand
actually use some people actually
for
put like
acoustic
kick
gigs.
pedals to them. Yeah, but
Okay, that would be more
you know
ideal
if
for
you
like acoustic stuff,
right,
right? In a small setting.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I know what
Yeah,
that is.
yeah.
I mean,
I just didn't know they
I
were.
have smaller sets, but it's just like when you just look at it, it's like, man, I don't feel like I just want to take my bass and just go.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
Where I can get
yeah,
in and out. Drummers are the
yeah.
first to be there and the last to leave, always.
yeah.
That's
You
true.
know,
Then keys probably.
Yeah.
Cause bass and lead they can just plug they can carry their stuff on they back, and
and
then
an amp and be out.
just plug up and unplug and put it back in the case and then I'm gone. And horn
Yeah.
And
players
I'm gone.
they be about
Oh,
actually the horn players be going first and
They
foremost if
have to
I'm not
be. They have to
mistaken.
be first.
They
Yeah, that
gone.
horn.
and I
Just
don't
put
know
that horn on their
if you
shoulder.
have a singer, then
Mhm.
I think especially female singers, because
Oh
we kind
yeah,
of lenient. We
they
don't
gone.
want them. They don't even have to. They don't even have to unplug a mic. They just
Yeah.
walk clean off
But
stage.
once they put the mic back in the holster, that's it. They
They did
gone.
their
That's
job.
it. That's
You
it.
know? Yeah, they got so they have as far as weight, yeah, or carrying things around. The vocalists have it the easiest. Then I would say
Right.
the if you play a horn, whether it be trumpet or sax,
Yeah.
then the guitar players, and then the keys. Especially if you play
Yeah.
multiple ones, then the drummer is the last. So and what up,
Ernest
Ern?
Priest for Ernest. Just
We
talk
was just
about it.
talking about fragrances, but that's no, all of those instruments are important. The vocals are important. We're just talking from an aspect of quick pack up,
Well,
quick
Right.
setup, quick breakdown.
I gotta hold it down for my DJs that's watching us too, because
Yeah,
DJs
yeah.
we're usually the last ones out too in terms of
Oh yeah,
all the
yeah.
staff.
Yeah,
Like last night, the thing I played last night, I'm still playing music, and they're already starting to pack up and cater, but nobody released me yet. No one said,
Yeah.
"All right, you're done." So I'm still playing
Yeah.
music, and I'm
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
all the tables get folded up. I'm like, when are they gonna tell me to
yeah,
leave?
yeah.
But once it was finally done, they started helping me pack up too. And shout out to
Yeah.
Shanali too, because her staff helped me take some of my stuff out to the truck. So I
But see,
appreciate
man,
that.
but see, as a
Great.
DJ, I'm thinking, I have my main setup. But when everybody start leave, that's when I have my pre kind of playlist set
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
and I
Yeah,
pull out
Start off
my
one
iPad
side.
or my iPhone.
yeah, I've
Let
done
that
it.
sucker
I've
play
done
while I
it.
just start packing up. Cause man,
Yeah, you
I'm
gotta
telling you,
you
at the
gotta
end of the
kill.
night, I'll be ready to go.
I've
Like
done that
seriously,
too. Or
it ain't
just
no
go
more
one
1 and 2
speaker.
o'clock gigs
Yeah,
for me.
one
Forget
speaker
it.
and start unplugging.
Just
Right, start up. Right, plug it directly into the back of that speaker.
Then, so you have to kind of release yourself when you got to
Yeah.
turn the volume down.
Exactly.
right.
You know what I started doing too when we did the bar and club gigs like that. Start playing stuff that only I want to hear.
Yeah, yeah. Try to run them up out
Start
of
putting
there.
that
So,
heavy
yeah.
EDM on,
Yeah.
or some slow mellow stuff, and they're trying to like, nope, you can leave now.
That's what usually happen in church. They say, well, don't play music too much because then people want to stay. And if you turn the music off, just start turning the lights off. That's an indication. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get out of here. Start turning the lights off. Start turning them lights off. They'll start moving.
I'm hearing Teddy Pendergrass in my mind.
Turn
That's
them,
right.
Turn them off.
Turn them lights off.
Yeah,
Hey, listen. Would you like to give our audience your contact information if they would like to ever try to hire you? Because you're so busy.
Yes.
That
Man. Yeah, just you can email me at DeCarlosDavisMusic@gmail. I do have a website, DeCarlosDavis.com. Social media here. Feel free to follow me. And I try to keep my name simple on all platforms. So I think Instagram and TikTok is DeCarlos Davis Music, and then here is DeCarlos Hulk Davis. So feel free to
Facebook.
hit me up.
No. Yeah, yeah.
Yep, yep.
That's
Yeah,
awesome,
man.
man.
That's great. That's great.
I got
Wow.
another comment from Ashley Kennedy. I'm teaching my son about different instruments from around the world and the history. Yeah, good deal.
That's
That is
awesome.
nice.
Good deal.
That is
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, her
That
son
is
is
awesome.
into music. Ashley sings and whatnot, and I believe her son is heavily into music and learning different instruments and whatnot. So you know, we always get it from somewhere. Usually it's like a parent or a grandparent or someone, or you have access
That's right.
to these instruments,
That's
and
right.
that's how we're able to, start getting those 10,000 hours in early.
For sure.
That's true, Lord. Yes,
My kids are doing piano now, and that's why I was asking, because I know my son is gonna want to play drums, but I'm trying to get him to stick with piano for a few years. This is about almost a full year now they've been doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get him, the bass line on the piano, and then if he wants to branch off to something else, hopefully it'll be
Well, I'm telling you, if he start playing the
transition
drums,
for
he
him.
ain't gonna want to play nothing else. He be like my
Yeah.
2-year-old, come in here just banging.
Yeah, making
Yeah.
that noise. Oh,
Right.
thank you, Rhonda.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. We
Thank you,
appreciate you so
Rhonda.
much.
You
Thank
all.
you. Yeah, yeah, man. This has been great. Is there anything that we
Yes.
didn't cover?
No, I think
Pretty
it was a
much.
great interview. I'm so happy you guys reached out to me, and so happy to have been on the show. And now I know what you guys do, and I'll be chiming in when you have other guests for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. We
yeah.
appreciate that. Leave us with
Yes,
some
sir.
words of wisdom from the Hulk. Anything you want
Yeah.
to share? Anyone else looking to follow in a similar path, whether it be in music or just following whatever they're passionate about.
Right. Just always remember that you're gonna fail at some things, but failing don't mean that it won't work. Sometimes you just have to keep building and keep trusting God, and always keep Him first, and things will work out.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Awesome.
much,
Yes,
brother. That
yes,
was
yes.
great. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We got some people watching
Thank
on
you.
YouTube as well, so we
Thank you,
appreciate
Nate.
y'all. Switching over
Appreciate
to
you.
the YouTube. If you're
Yeah.
on Facebook, we appreciate it, but also subscribe to the YouTube channel, because there's going to be some interesting things happening in the next few
Yeah.
weeks as far as Facebook is concerned. Speaking of no show next week, we are on spring break, so no show next week, and we'll be back on the 9th.
Yeah, and don't wait till we blow up, ladies and gentlemen, to try to subscribe. We're gonna block you.
I better get mine in now then.
Yeah. Hit all your subscriptions, all of that. Again, Spotify Music, our Facebook community, which we're now at, I think about 640 members in our Facebook
Nice.
community. Shout out to Facebook, Spotify, Apple Music, Twitch, and everybody else whose our platform finds a home. It finds a home
right.
with our platform. So we appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, let's see, coming up this weekend. Well, actually, I got a private event. Blessed Easter to you all, to you as well, Rhonda. Brandon and I are doing this Mellow Groove event, but it's like a murder mystery thing. So I can't wait to tell you all about it next Tuesday when I come back. So we're just providing entertainment for a murder mystery game on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
So a private event. I've never done anything like this. So we're kind of picking out songs to do that would be kind of in that theme, So that's going to be very interesting. And Sunday, which is Easter, after I do my church gig, here in Rock Hill, there is a Southern Soul Festival. It is going on at 151 West, is that Border Road here in Rock Hill from 4 to 8. If you need more information, I'll be posting it on my page, ladies and gentlemen, on Facebook. But it'll be from 4 to 8. And me and my guys, Mellow Groove, we're playing an hour set from 5 to 6.
Sweet.
Thank you, Nate. We
go.
appreciate you. Make sure
We
you
gotta
hit
do
that
ties
subscribe
more
button.
often.
Yeah, we may have to. Maybe once every couple of months or something.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, we gotta tell the guests next time too.
All right,
We
we'll
gotta
tell
let-
the
we
guests
gotta-
too. Yeah. Well, that's my fault. That's my fault, Hulk. I just hit him. I should have
It's all
told you
good.
too.
He
But
would've
but
won
you're
It's all
the
good.
guest.
I have my tie, even if I'm not on the show. I'll be just sitting watching with a tie on.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we
As
go.
Famous said a few episodes ago, zooted and booted.
That's right. Zooted and booted.
Ladies
All
and
right.
gentlemen, we want to thank our guests one final time for joining us today,
Thank
Mr. DeCarlos Hulk Davis. Thank you all for joining us and hanging out with us for your lunch hour. We wanted to say everybody have a great rest of the day. Have a great rest of the week. We'll do this again next Tuesday. Jay says, good show. Thank you. Happy Easter. Have a great rest. Same to you all.
Same
Carlos, stay on the line. Peace, y'all. Fronte, what's up? We're going to see you soon. Thank y'all so much. We'll holler.
Thank you.